Hi everyone, so today's video is going to consist of how I passed my real estate exam. This video is going to be split into 3 parts. The first part, I'm going to be talking about my expectations and what actually happened when I took my state exam. Then we're going to be talking about the things that I did, programs that I purchased, and stuff that I wished I should have done in the beginning of when I had started taking my classes. And third, we're going to talk about mindset. I think mindset is very important. I know that I haven't taken a test in a really long time, especially a big test like that. And so I also know that a lot of people pass their real estate exam the first time. I wasn't one of them. I took the test 4 times before I actually passed it. So hopefully this video can be beneficial to you, and hopefully it can help you pass the first time. So what I had expected to do when I took my exam kind of was like my school exam. So if you didn't know, you have to take 2 exams. When you go to real estate school, you have to have a school exam, and then you have to pass that exam in order to take the state exam. They're completely 2 different exams, and depending whether the school gives you the exam for free or not, that is independent of the school. But the state exam, you do have to purchase it every time you take it. When I took my exam for school, a lot of the classes are kind of like just basically getting you ready to take the school exam. I want to make that a point because I did not know that. And so when you go to take your state exam, it's completely different format. A lot of the questions are different. Now, I'm not saying that what you studied during class is not going to pertain to what you are going to take on the state exam, but the format of the exam is really different because they kind of give you a lot of what the school exam is going to have, but they have no idea what is in the state exam. And the real reason for that is because the questions and the answers change every year, and the teachers that are giving the school exams are not allowed to see those questions, obviously. And so they kind of just go by what students tell them of what they've seen in the exam, but they really don't know what's in the state exam every year. The next section is going to be basically all I'm going to talk about is my notes and what I actually basically took as a study guide. If you go to school, they usually give you a study guide there. I went through the study guide, and I went through the video that helped you go through the study guide, and still I felt like when I took the test the first time, I was not as prepared as I should have been. And I'm not putting anything on my classes for my school, but it's just really, you're gonna need extra help. I mean, I know that there's some people that can basically that's all they need, but for me, I needed a lot more help to take the test and actually pass it. So I actually, don't judge me, but there's multiple pages here, and this is basically what I studied. Now, I know it's used and everything because I took my test last year on December, so it hasn't been that long. But I did go through all these notes, and this actually helped me pass the exam. When you take the math portion of the exam, I know that some states don't take the math portion. I believe it's California. Maybe another state, but just Google it. They'll tell you what states do need the math portion and what don't. But the only issue with the math portion is, now it's not high complicated math, but it is some math to it, and they sometimes tell you, yeah, maybe the math is not a big percentage of the test, but honestly, sometimes even the last questions that you can get right, like you could be at that last question, and if you get it wrong, you basically fail the whole test. Don't minimize how much you're gonna need math, and do try to study some of those videos. Obviously, YouTube is your best friend, Google is your best friend, everybody says that, and it's true. So try to go that. And also at the end of this video, I'm going to attempt to attach how to use an amortization amortization
Like mortgage?
Yeah, it's called amortization table. Amortization table.
Amortization.
I will attach the word somewhere in the video. I speak Spanish, so my English sometimes kind of goes back and forth with that. So I don't know about a lot of people, but I didn't know how to use that table. And so I'm going to try to attempt to teach you how to use that table because it's very, very important for you to know that table. Now, this table is going to be provided on your exam, specifically for New Jersey, because I'm in New Jersey. I took the New Jersey State exam. I'm going to go and see if I can attach that at the end of the video and show you how to use it. It's very simple, but it took me a very long time to find this answer. And so hopefully you don't have to take as long to find it. It'll just be in this video. For this next part, we're going to talk about all the things that I registered, paid for, and hopefully you don't have to go through, because I went through a lot. I did a lot of research after filling it. I think the first time, the second time, the third time, till I got it till the fourth time. So hopefully this will be beneficial, so that way you don't have to go through all of this and waste all that money. The first thing I registered was, it's called the Pro Real Estate Exam. It's online. They basically give you multiple exam questions of your specific state. However, I didn't go through a lot of them. A lot of them were very hard, and I just wasn't getting the concept of them. So then I needed just more research on like what exactly are the things that I really needed to understand in order to get those questions right. So I don't really recommend it. I saw a video recommending this, saying that he took a lot of the tests and eventually he wants to take it and it helped him pass it. But for me, generally, I like to understand why the answers are a certain way, and so this didn't really help me. The next one is Dearborn app. So I know Dearborn app is highly rated on Google Play. Is it Google? No, Google Apps. However, I went through all the videos. I went through some of their test questions also. I went through the definitions. It's not my favorite. It's highly rated, but for me specifically, it didn't really go beyond what I already kind of knew. It just basically was more like answer questions, now trying to memorize. And if you don't understand the concepts, then you're just not going to understand the answer. And you really need to understand the answers, because when a question is asked for you, especially for these exams, they're going to give you 3 right answers and you have to pick the most right. Now, they're going to be right. You could remember that all the information is right, but they want the most right. And depending on your state, now, they're going to give you 2 tests in 1 exam. It's going to be state exam and it's going to be whole exam. And so for the whole exam, everyone gets that same part. Depending on your state, you're going to get a state-specific exam. And sometimes they'll split it up depending on your state. You can Google that too if you're lucky enough to have that state. But for New Jersey specifically, they don't do that. They combine the tests into 1. And so you're going to have to figure out which are the ones that they're asking you for your state and which ones are the ones that they're asking you for the whole test. I mean, for everyone. So usually for the New Jersey specific, they'll say something about like this state, New Jersey state, in that question. So you'll know that that's basically a state specific question. The other ones, they won't say that. They'll generalize it. So be aware of that, because I didn't know that. I went to the test. I had no idea. And some of the answers I thought was right wasn't right for my state, because in states there's different rules and regulations. So this is basically what I recommend. PrepAgent. Now, I went through a lot of different YouTube videos, YouTube channels, and PrepAgent by far is the most efficient and effective that I found. Now, they're going to go in, you're going to pay for a subscription. It is $59, $60 per year. Now, not per month, per year. And you have to compare that to the other things, because the Pro Real Estate exam was $59.95 per every 3 months. Dearborn app was about $43 per month. Now, PrepAgent is only $60 per year, and that doesn't include just what basically you're gonna have on the test. They give you videos now that they've updated about it. You're actually when you start working as a real estate agent. So I highly recommend that. I still use it till today, even though I have my license already, and it's very beneficial, especially when you come in as a new real estate agent. Now, PrepAgent is going to give you vocabulary. They're going to give you a PDF that basically gives you everything that you're going to have to understand the basic knowledge of, so you can answer questions. They're going to go through, you have to go through videos. Now, mind you, I went through these videos twice, 3 times, hours and hours of time going through the videos. Going through the vocabulary, making my own definitions for each word. If you literally just go through the PrepAgent syllabus, you're gonna be fine for the whole test, right? For state specific, I suggest you find someone in your specific region that are giving those kind of tips. But for us in New Jersey, I'm sorry for any other state because I really didn't research too much on that, but for us in New Jersey specifically, I found Stu has a YouTube channel called The Real Estate Exam Prep. Now follow him. His questions are literally some of the questions that are going to be in your exam. I went through a lot of their videos, and my other biggest thing that I feel like specifically helped me was the Facebook groups. PrepAgent is going to help you go into a Facebook group where everyone's asking questions, everybody's helping each other, and then they have other groups as well that you can follow in your specific state. Now, I'm telling you right now, I know you're not gonna want to follow all these groups, and you're kind of uncomfortable if you don't really like talking to people. I'm not really comfortable talking to other people. I'm very introverted. I don't really like asking for help. But trust me, these people are just there to help each other pass the test. They'll have study groups. They have people that actually will answer your questions. If you have a question that you think is going to be on the test or that you remember from the test, they'll help you there. And so the two things I highly recommend is PrepAgent and Facebook groups. Now, from there, I did also get a Chegg subscription and a Quizlet subscription because I know that I remember some of the questions when I failed it the first 3 times that I didn't really understand and I didn't know the answer to. And so Chegg and Quizlet are really good for you to go ask those questions and get those answers. So lastly, I can go through a whole hour video of this, but I'm not going to just because of time, and I don't want this to be a huge long video. But the last thing that I want to talk to you is about your mindset. Now, I know people feel like they just want to get to the grit and bit of it, and they don't really want to go into like having a positive mindset and like talking to yourself and then being all this weird stuff. I know, I get it. I was one of those people. But it's very important you to be in a positive mindset because this exam can really break you, especially if you're not used to failing. Now, failure is a huge thing that I'm not going to go into it because it'd be too much time to go into it. But if you're not used to failing a lot, then this is going to be a huge problem that you're going to have to undertake because you're going to fail. Like, maybe you'll be one of those lucky people that passes the first time, and hopefully you are. That's why I'm doing this video. But if you don't, then failing the first couple of times is going to really be a big hurdle. So you want to go into a mindset of you're going to go in there, you're going to go in the mindset of you passing. But if you don't, then don't let that kind of affect you. Just get it together, go back and redo it, try again. You're not the first or the last person that's failed this exam. Trust me, I've met a lot of people on these Facebook groups that failed the exams more than 7, more than 8, more than 10, 12 times. But yet they keep going, and eventually one day they post on the Facebook group and they say, finally, I passed my exam. Now, I will tell you this. Positive affirmations are things that you're going to need to understand and learn, because with that you're going to be able to kind of get you out of that whole gray area after you fail, or if you do fail your exam. And you're going to have to get over it really quickly because these tests comes every week, and the longer you take, the more information you're not retaining, and so you're going to have to study even more. So my suggestion to you is once something happens, if something does happen, and if you do fail, just come back to it. Don't think about it too much. Look at positive affirmations that you can write down on your phone, anywhere, maybe on a board where you're like studying. So that way, when you feel that negative vibe, like almost like telling you, because there are like things they're going to tell you, don't do it, you're not smart enough, or maybe you're not going to be able to because this is too hard, you're too dumb. Those things are going to come up, and those are just insecurities that any normal person has. However, you have to go over that and beyond that, especially if you're going to become a real estate agent. So as a real estate agent, you're going to be an independent worker. So if you can't handle these kind of stresses and these kind of things without actually going above that and growing from that, then you're going to have a hard time just being in the field. This is the end of the video. Hopefully these things kind of get you to the point of you not only having to not have to go through all these things that I went through. It took me a whole 30 days to figure out all these things out before I pass my test. And hopefully that doesn't have to be you. That's the intentions of this video, and hopefully that can help you go beyond, and this way you can start working as fast as possible. As we all know, real estate agents, we have to have a lot of income in the beginning to kind of live off while we get all of our business things together. You run a real estate business. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I am willing to go through anything that you would want to. If you need someone to talk to or just anything, like I said, I'm part of all the Facebook groups, so you can see me there. I will link my Facebook onto this page. And the bonus, I was gonna throw these things out because honestly I don't need them anymore. They'll probably tell you this in school, but I'll rephrase it, I guess. When you take your test, you're not going to need any of that information anymore. You're going to get completely new information when you become a real estate agent. You're not going to need it anymore. And so I don't need any of these notes anymore. These are from last year, so keep that in mind. This is for only the New Jersey specific people, so please keep this in mind. Only New Jersey specific people. I made flashcards for every chapter that I got that was on my exam. Now it depends obviously on the teacher you had, on what school you had, but they were beneficial just to look at when I was walking around, going to other places, and I didn't have time to be on my computer and actually go through notes. But if anybody wants these flashcards for free, I'm willing to send it to you. But obviously you have to live in the United States because I can't go international. I don't know how much you have to pay for that, but I know in New Jersey, if it's specific to New Jersey, I can just send them out to you. So if anybody's interested, leave me a comment below or email me. And now this is first come first serve. Whoever first emails me, you can get them, but it's first come first serve. I didn't make multiple counts of this, it's just one. And additionally to that, because I feel bad that obviously only one person's gonna get these, I still have a file for my notes that I took. So everything is basically there. I can send it to you via email. So if you want those notes, and mind you, they change every year. So this was from 2020. I don't know how much it might have changed from 2021. So it might not even be relevant. I'm not really sure. But in case you want to just skim through them and look through them, I'm more willing and happy to send them to you. So I'm going to attach my email to the bottom of this video. You can send me any questions there. And I hope the best wishes and luck to you. And bye, guys. So, hey, guys. So I'm going to add this last part to the video just for your reference. We're going to be talking about let me just type it here because I can't say this, but I can spell it. Amortization table. Amortization table. Yeah, whatever. It's spelled there. And basically, is this table right here. Now, I know that you could get this online. It's not hard to get this or find this. But, like I said, I couldn't find one that actually explained how to use it. Maybe I was just stressed out. I'm not sure. But here it is. And so I got a question, a generic question from the internet so you can see how it actually works. So here it'll ask you, and this is like a question that is pretty familiar to me on the test. So it says, what is the estimated mortgage payment for a $250,000 loan at 5% for 20 years? So mind you, I'm not sure if anybody you guys have seen this, but this is important. The monthly payment is per $1,000 of mortgage. So that means first we're going to go here to 20 years, right? You're going to go into 5%, and that gives you 6.60. You're going to get this in your exam, but this is how you use it. So this is says 6.60. What you're going to do here is it says this is how you calculate that factor, and you're going to multiply hold on, this is right here. So you're going to multiply the 660, which is what you got here, times 250. So you see this 250, I was confused because no one told me that I had to divide the 250,000 by every thousand of mortgage. So I was multiplying this by the 660, and that's wrong. What you're supposed to first do is get the loan amount, divide that by 1,000, and then that'll give you the actual number you're supposed to multiply by. So you'll get that 660 that you got here times the 250, which is the loan, and that'll give you 1,650, which is basically your estimated mortgage payment. Now, it's very simple and it's very easy, but at the beginning, obviously, I had issues finding this. So hopefully this helps. And like I said, if you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments below or reach out to me via email. Bye, guys.